Gimme.
Got a Millie.
Not a Millie.
Up. I'm being
She's a good catch.
She
Yep.
is.
Oh, thanks.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Not flirting, but I've hit record. Your turn.
Okay. Hey there, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to the Castworks podcast. I'm Lane, and this is Izzy.
Hello. And that's all we have
And
today.
That's all we have. Yes, we don't have a guest for this one. We kind of talked previously a little bit about doing little one-off topics now and then, and so we've got a couple of things that we want to talk about. So yeah, I think that this one that we're gonna do this episode is gonna be things that we have learned since we started content creation, which it's pretty broad because boy have we both changed.
Yeah, very much so. I'm a little
And so
more gamer smart now.
a little more gamer smart.
Not by much. I was very dumb before.
Anyway,
How far into? We're not even literally less than a minute in, and I've already thrown off your train of thought. This is a great start.
yes, it's not hard to throw off my train of thought, is
It's
it?
not. Just put a couple pennies on the tracks.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I guess this is how today's going. My first fish is a pufferfish.
Oh, great. Good sign.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think one of the best places to get started is probably recapping how we both got started with our YouTube journeys, because I don't know how to naturally get into it, if I'm being honest with you guys.
Yeah.
So I think just kind of going over it would be nice. So the way I started was watching Impulse back in like 2018. That he was not my introduction into Hermitcraft, but he's the one that really got me into watching the Hermits. If that makes sense. I started with Grian, but Impulse is the one that got me hooked. And so I pretty much just watched mostly Impulse and just a little bit of the other Hermits all the way up till about 2021, when I started getting that itch of maybe I should start a YouTube channel. And at that time, I did not have the hardware to do it. Granted, I did not have the hardware to do it when I started YouTube, but I did it anyway. More on that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But pretty much what really jump-started it, though, was the Imp and Skiz podcast, the What's Stopping You episode.
Of course.
Where, yeah, they basically talked a lot about how we as people, we kind of see the million other reasons to not do something. But yeah, that's pretty much what inspired me into starting. And so when I started, I booted up my horrible little laptop, and I was sitting on my bedroom floor, not my bedroom floor, my living room floor, using a pillow as a cushion and my coffee table as my computer desk. And I downloaded this thing called OBS, not knowing how it worked, not knowing how audio filters or anything like that within OBS worked, not knowing really anything. And I just went with it. And then apparently I did something right, because within the first week of my channel being up, I had like 30 subscribers, which is kind of wild.
That is really
after
impressive.
1 week.
Yeah.
So apparently I did something right. Now, when I look back at those videos now, I can see the charm and the appeal in it, but boy, did I sound dead. But that was the depression speaking, you know, that I don't know. I don't know.
He recovered, don't worry.
Yeah, I did. I eventually got some life into my voice.
Yay.
And the rest of his life also.
Yes. Well, yeah, because I started enjoying what I was doing as a content creator. And my days were much happier at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
Who knew getting a
even-
hobby would bring you
Yeah.
joy in life.
Well, it wasn't even just that. Like, I would wake up in the mornings, go to work, and then know that, hey, I can be happy because I can go home and I can do this thing that I really enjoy doing after work. And even like my boss to this day, she will say, when Elaine, after you first started, YouTube is when I seen you at your happiest.
Aw. That's cool that
But
it
my boss
shows.
also, well, yeah, but she's also seen me at my worst too. So, and then speaking about sounding dead and everything, I mean, part of that was the lack of audio filters and stuff, which is what helped me, tweak my audio to sound better than it does now. Granted, I still record, in my living room, but my audio is still, it's miles better than it was back then. And the frame rate and everything, but we'll get into the rest of that here in a minute. Izzy, recap how you started.
Technical side? Ooh, good question. Give me a minute.
Did your mind blank?
It really did.
Dang, have I lived before today? I told you my memory's shot. Yeah, so technically my YouTube career started before my Minecraft career, for lack of a better term, apparently. Because Empress Littlebit and I actually started with drawing and animation YouTube. So I started off editing her videos for her channel because she used to do like little draw with me's and animations before we knew how animation programs worked. So basically she would just draw stuff on her computer and then I would splice it all together in Windows Media Maker or whatever.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It was not nearly as much work as it is now, and not nearly as much work as it is to animate stuff myself, which is what I ended up doing with my channel before I started with Minecraft stuff. I actually started with animations, which I made on Clip Studio Paint, and it was really fun. I say with an ellipse at the end of that sentence because it's also quite painful, both physically and emotionally, because it took about 2 months for me to make a 30-second video. And it was really not giving me the reward that I was looking for in content creation. And everything I tried just felt like it took so much work, and the work didn't feel worth it because nobody was actually seeing my content. Like, I did a couple like little Minecraft animations that got kind of popular. You cannot find them on my channel anymore, by the way, because if I relisted them, then YouTube would think I'm an animation channel and stop pushing my content. So those are private now. But that was how Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you mentioned like the drawing and stuff, and then just splicing it together. What went through my mind was like those old like claymation movies.
Oh yeah.
Where you have to just slightly move something and then catch a frame and then slightly move it again and then catch another frame and then you're splicing all of this together. That's what went through my head.
Oh, that's actually
originally.
That is the type of animation I was doing on Clip Studio Paint, actually, because none of it, there's like a little bit of keyframing, but most of it is just moving a person or a character one frame at a time. And it, like I said,
that sounds painful.
It is painful. And I was doing like something more called animatic. So it means you skip frames, so it's not like completely fluid. It's more like a storyboard kind of animation thing. It's hard to explain. Go look it up. There's a lot of fan animatics for Minecraft stuff that I'm sure you would enjoy. I still love watching them. And I have such an appreciation for that kind of art style and stuff. So I will always support all of the animators and stuff in the Minecraft community because it's a lot of work. And oh my gosh, there are some really talented people out there. But I am not one of them. I don't have that kind of patience anymore. But all that to say, I had been on YouTube for about a year beforehand. So I knew how like YouTube analytics worked and how to upload stuff and how to make thumbnails and stuff like that. What I hadn't learned was how to make a video myself. Because like I said, I had done videos for E before, and I had been watching Minecraft YouTube for about 3 years now. That's how I got into the Minecraft animatic scene, was because I was watching. Actually, I got into Minecraft because of Minecraft animatics, not the other way around. My animation days actually are what got me into my gaming days. So I came here in a back alleyway. Pretty much.
A back alleyway.
Yep, back alley.
The Temu version.
Yes, pretty much. But yeah,
yeah, no, I relate to that though, because I also did not know how to edit my own stuff. And then I had to bite the bullet and just do it. And I mean, that was the only way of learning. at that time. You know, I mean, that's how I've learned everything from music to everything else that I do IRL. It's all just stuff that I picked up just from doing it. That I've always been self-taught in pretty much everything I do.
Yeah, same.
So, yeah. So videos was no exception. And I mean, I personally would like to believe that my editing skills have gotten much, much better since I started.
I think they have. Although it is kind of funny that you mentioned editing software, because I actually had DaVinci Resolve before I started making Minecraft videos. So, because E and I were looking for an editing program that would give us more options for audio editing. So I just went on like this little Google search spree, because this is how I do most of my research into like software and stuff that I want to use, is I just go to Google and look up reviews and go watch like 3 or 4 little compilation videos of what people think are the best programs, and then pick whichever one suits me best. And it's like, oh, DaVinci Resolve is free and has this many features, and okay, great, it's definitely free. I've looked at the reviews, that's definitely free. And I downloaded that, and that was a very frustrating 24 hours trying to figure out how to use cinematic grade editing software after using my default computer splicing software.
Yeah. You know, see, like that's also the same way that I pick out software for things. That's how I found my DAW for my music recording stuff.
Ooh.
And everything else. But DaVinci, that's not where I started. I didn't know DaVinci was really a thing until after I'd started editing videos. You're the one that told me about
Yep,
DaVinci.
I was.
Because I was using Filmora at that time.
Boy. Yeah, E was using Filmora as well, and that's how I knew it was not great. Compared
Well,
to
I liked
DaVinci, I will
Filmora.
say.
Yeah, for what I was doing at that time, with how simple my edits were and everything else, I really liked Filmora, especially because my computer back then could handle that a lot better than it could handle
That's
DaVinci
also
Resolve.
true, yeah.
But Filmora was also lacking in a lot of places, and this is. I also want to preface this: any softwares or anything that's mentioned here, we are not sponsored by, and we
True, thank you.
we also, like, if there's any negative connotations about them, it is not to blast them in any shape, form,
Yeah,
or
it's
fashion. It's just our own experience.
Completely opinion-based.
But Filmora was just lacking in certain areas that DaVinci could fix. Now, granted, I downloaded DaVinci, and my little HP notebook was ready to blow up. It was not liking it at all.
Yeah.
But my videos did come out better.
Granted, it took 2 to 3 hours to render out one video, but
Oh man,
Yep.
that sucked.
yep, I do remember that with my little Dell laptop that's still down here.
Yeah, I've still got my HP one somewhere. It hasn't been booted up since I swapped to my last laptop, which now I'm on a gaming PC that just recently got built. So
Dang, he's upgraded,
Yeah.
guys.
I've upgraded big time.
He has. I always forget that your channel is actually younger than mine.
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
only by a few
my
months,
first
though.
upload. Yeah, my first upload was May 8th of May 5th? May 8th. Yeah, May 8th of 2023.
Yeah, and I started in March that same year. Well, with Minecraft
Yeah.
stuff, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I found you shortly after starting my stuff, but
We're
again,
getting ahead of
that's stuff that we've
ourselves.
already discussed. Yeah.
Hold on, I haven't gotten to the
Yeah.
Minecraft part yet.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
although,
yeah,
I kind of already have told people how I got into Minecraft. Just downloaded OBS because I knew it was free and that everybody used it. And I guess I will preface that I'm also self-taught. So all of my... Excuse me! I see that! Sir! Rude. It's a long walk just to spite me.
well, I can't reach it.
Anyway, what was I saying? I'm doing this. I'm doing your thing now. Anyway,
Anyway,
what was I saying? Oh, just go watch some YouTube tutorials. That's all I was gonna say.
yeah.
Honestly, though, just Google how do I use OBS to record Minecraft, and there's gonna be 17 and a half tutorials on the fastest way to do that. And I pretty much picked like the fastest one I could find and sped it up to time and a half speed, and that's how I learned OBS.
Meanwhile, don't do like Oleno here and not watch tutorials.
Exactly. This is another thing. Lane would message me and be like, DaVinci's not working because of XYZ. And I'm like, have you Googled it? And he's like, no, because that means defeat. Meanwhile,
Yeah, no, word for word.
okay, great.
Okay.
We lost a little bit of footage, but not by much. You guys didn't miss anything. I'm recording again now. I will let you know if
Okay.
it crashes next, because that's what happened last time it did this.
Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I did not watch any OBS tutorials or anything like that. I didn't really watch any DaVinci tutorials at that time because I'm one of those people, I want to figure something out myself and in real time. That's the way I've always been with music, with recording, with anything else that I've ever done. And it's just a satisfaction thing in learning something on my own. I did learn the hard way how to set up filters and stuff in OBS, how to make the separate scenes for my streams and everything else. And
You know what's satisfying to me?
you know, what's that?
Getting stuff right the first time.
We're not gonna do this, Izzy. We're not gonna do this.
And then Lane quit.
And then Lane quit. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
No more Lane.
That's 17 minutes long. All right, thank you all for joining us.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's also how I learned a lot of my technical stuff, because like with OBS, there's these things called bit rates, and you have to learn about encoders and stuff. And now that is stuff that I did have to look up because I don't know anything about that hardware stuff.
Yeah.
So I did have to do research on that, but I've since learned how to make my computer handle recording better and to record at higher quality, so it's not, you know, super grainy or anything like that. And
No
also
crunchy footage.
no crunchy footage. I mean, I kid you not, just 2 weeks ago after this PC got built, I was struggling to get my footage to not look grainy. And then what I learned was how the resolution scaled in OBS. Because for whatever reason, OBS wanted to scale my recording back down to 1920 by 1080, which is not what I record at. I record at 2K resolution now, so everything should be clearer. So
What must that
like
be like?
I yeah, that's been wild. And my video sizes, oh my gosh, they are huge now.
As opposed
we-
to you shooting in practically raw footage on your laptop anyway?
Yeah, well, since the episode with Goose, I have changed settings, and now my video files are not that big anymore.
Good job.
But they still are crazy big because I'm recording in 2K resolution. Like even just a screenshot with shaders on around my base, it's 10 megabytes. I can't upload it to Discord without my truck.
File type are you using? Do JPEGs
That's
even
a
go up that
PNG.
high? Oh, you're
That's a
shooting in
PNG.
PNG, that's why. Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess you have to with Flashback.
Yes,
Ooh.
because that's where I'm getting my screenshots from.
Right. I forgot. Ignore me.
Yeah, so I've had to learn a lot about that, which I guess now we can kind of get into the things that we've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Starting things off, it's audio. And I'm gonna say I'm starting things with audio because I'm an audio nerd,
He is.
with me being a musician and everything else. Like even when I was doing the voiceovers for you or for E or helping anybody else, I'm always asking, do you want to do the audio in game with noise suppression and everything else, or do you want to do the Discord audio? Because they do sound different.
They absolutely do.
And I'm very picky about that. If I hear my own voice in somebody else's video and it sounds bad, I am gonna hate that. Absolutely hate that. There's a small scene from season 1 of Craftworks with Millie. This was around the time we were doing the Gourdzilla thing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was not recording. I was not prepared for somebody to come up to me recording, which this is Craftworks. I should always be ready for that, which is another thing that I learned, but we can get to that later. Yeah, she come running up to me. And so when I'm recording, I have to turn off my AC unit because it's right next to my microphone and it will pick that up. I was not ready or prepared or anything. She ran up to me doing this lore heavy stuff that I was not prepared for. There was no script. There was nothing planned. And so I had to wing it. And then I heard my voice in her video and heard the AC in the background, and it drove me up a wall for weeks.
And guess what?
And,
Nobody
yeah.
else heard it.
Nobody else heard it, but I did. And that's also because I'm a perfectionist, right?
Yeah,
So,
you're in good company.
yeah. But so I'm also going to say this. Viewers, you might not notice the little things, but we as the creators, we notice every little thing because we're putting out every little thing specifically for you.
And watching it 4 times over.
And watching it
post.
4 times over in post. So we pick up on the little things. Cut us some slack. we miss some things, okay?
Yep. And usually we are fully aware that we've missed those things.
Well, usually we become fully aware. Okay, I'm speaking for myself. I become fully aware after I've uploaded said thing.
Yep. That's been done on my part too.
So another thing that I learned was I have to definitely rewatch my video before it gets uploaded. Because at first I wasn't really doing that because the way I edit, and this might be different from you, but the way I edit is I do the detailed edit as I am editing.
Oh.
I don't do the rough edit and then do the final. I do it all detailed as I am doing it. And
then you just post it?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, obviously after watching before posting it. But,
Okay.
but I do the detailed edit while I'm editing it down, while I'm trimming down the everything. There was one time where I kind of missed that. Also in season 1 of Craftworks, it was the episode where I think it was the one where I just built the redstone services shop that I did, and Paula commented and was like, "It sounds like Captain Grumble got in your video there," and it was from where I coughed and then didn't edit out that cough. So I went into YouTube Studio and I cut it out manually.
Oh my gosh, really?
But that moment made me realize I have to proof watch my videos from now on. Which it sounds like common sense. Okay, I hear the viewers just judging me now. I can feel it.
Well, but it's not though, because a lot of people have never edited a video before and they'd probably do the same thing where you just edit in one pass and then you're good to go.
Well, like I
obviously
don't
not like
fully
that.
edit in one pass, right? I just do my detailing as I go, and then I'll give it the rewatch through DaVinci and see if there's something else that I might have missed. And so like I guess technically do the rough and then the final, but the rough is pretty much a final because I do all of it then. So like any subtitling, I do it there on the spot when I get to that moment. Any little like screen shakes or like the highly edited stuff with chunk lock, like that was all done as I got to that moment in the recording. That's just how I've always done it. And that's largely because I don't want to go back and rewatch my video 16 times and figure out what I want to do where. But I also have this weird thing, and this is another thing we touched on in our first episode, where I have this recorder brain where I know how I'm going to edit something as I'm recording it. It also makes things a little bit easier, but I don't know. How do you do things, Izzy?
Well, my editing has changed a bit as I've gone on. I used to be a lot more strict about my editing, especially when I first started and was doing like heavily meme-based almost content where like there was a joke every few minutes.
Oh, I remember those days.
Oh, yeah. Baby's first series was full of them. Junk Drawer was a little lighter, but I was still doing like pretty off-the-cuff stuff in the editing in post. Like editing Izzy had her own little meme character kind of thing that popped up every now and then whenever I was being sassy to myself. Videos like those would usually take like at least 4 watches. So I would do the rough cut, I'd go through and edit everything down to just the funny parts or just the necessary parts, and that would usually be like maybe 2 to 3 hours of footage because I don't record in clips, which is one of the reasons rough cut had to be done on its own. And then I would do...
Yeah, you're insane
I know.
recording like that, by the way.
I'm aware. We're working on it. And then I would do... Oh, would I do detailed edit first or music? I think it was detailed edit. So I would put in like all the memes, all the subtitles, all the screen shakes and stuff like that. If I had to go rip a Google image off of Google to put a meme in somewhere, I'd do that. And then I would go back and put in the music, and then the music sometimes had its own little meme-ish thing where I'd have to like cut it off and put some silence here or change the tone or the speed of it here for effect. And then I would go in and proof watch it. And usually that would be with E. Usually she would be there and I would like watch her the entire time she was watching. And if she didn't laugh at something, I cut it out.
I could see that.
But yeah, then I rendered it out and was happy with it. Nowadays, I edit stuff very last minute. So usually...
Yep, this podcast is likely going to be last minute too.
Yes, it will be. Can confirm.
I'm looking up, and there's a chicken on the hot air balloon up there.
Oh, there is. Did someone throw some eggs at it?
I don't know how that got up there.
That's a talented
It's up there.
chicken.
Yeah.
Brave
Anyway.
little guy. Yeah, anyway, now it only takes about 2 to 3 passes. And Cup of Tea in particular is one that I sometimes didn't even proof watch those episodes because, like, man, it's chill. If there's a mistake in there, I left it in on purpose. It's fine.
Yeah. And you know, sometimes we have to be okay with the imperfections, which is something that I'm still learning as I'm editing my content.
Yeah.
Because as you guys might have learned by now, I am not the most articulate person in the world. And
No.
so every now and again, I will stumble on my words, or I might accidentally stutter somewhere or something like that. And the way I record, so as mentioned previously, I record in clips. So typically what'll happen is I will usually start a recording and then I will start speaking. And if I sense myself either get way too off base or get to a point where I'm accidentally stuttering or my ideas are just not flowing the way I wanted them to, sometimes I'll say the incorrect thing and I will just immediately stop the recording, delete it, and then start over. Start from scratch. I have since stopped doing that.
Good.
Because I have learned that I can splice together things and not have to restart a recording.
I have notes on that too, actually, from just in the stuttering and not being able
Yeah.
to articulate things very well front. That was one of my main reasons for not wanting to make content at first. Because a few people know this about me, but I actually used to have a speech impediment when I was younger. Pretty much up until I was about 16, I want to say, where I couldn't say my R's correctly, and the only time I could hear it was if I was talking into a microphone. But that kind of convinced me growing up. It's like, I'm never going to speak on camera if I can avoid it. I don't ever want to talk into a microphone if I can avoid it. That's never going to happen. And then I just grew out of it. So let that be a lesson to you. Give it some time before you make any ultimatums. But
Oh, yeah.
My
yeah.
thing-
I never got to that point. But
yeah, but after that, it was, oh, I stutter too much. I go off on tangents too much. Sometimes I mispronounce things and I'm embarrassed and I don't want that to be a big deal. Guess what, guys? People actually find that really entertaining when you can't pronounce things correctly or when you stutter a lot. And one of the ways I found out was because of a channel called, not family friendly, but it's called Unis Honest. And one of the co-hosts of that particular YouTube channel had a stutter. And it came up sometimes, and there would be episodes where Ethan Nestor, that particular there we go, haha, examples, content creator, would have trouble pronouncing things, and sometimes he'd play it up for part of the bit, but for the most part it was just part of him, and they didn't make fun of him for it. They just accepted it as part of him, and people loved it. There are actually compilations of it if you want to go look it up. And that's what really gave me the confidence to be like, okay, so my weird little tangents, my stutters, my mispronouncing of stuff, it's just human. And people like it when you're human. And sometimes being human
Yeah.
can be really funny.
See, for me, where it hit home was, I can't remember what video it was. I can't remember what he said, but I know it was a B-Dubs video.
Oh,
And
yep, I know what you're talking about.
yeah, like he said something.
If not
And he
in
said it-
area, yeah.
Yeah, that. And said it totally wrong, and then he just played it off. He just
Yep.
edited with it.
Yep.
And it ended up being an iconic moment for him, I think. So yeah, I've recently stopped beating myself up as bad about it. So
Yeah, it's funny when you mispronounce things.
it is. I even left in one of those moments in my latest video as of the recording of this
Aw.
podcast.
Character development.
Character development, where it was kind of funny because it was where me and Melissa were doing this thing over at her carnival, and I was trying to say dunk tank test dummy,
Oh.
and then like I said something like dunk taste test. I can't remember. It was something something stupid, and then we both had a laugh, and then we just went on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
agreed.
Great. Yep. We're so articulate.
Yes, so articulate.
What else have
And-
we learned? Oh, go ahead.
Well, for me, another big learning thing, and I do want to hear more from you. I've got a lot.
No, this is your topic. This was his
but-
idea, guys. This is why I'm quiet for this one.
But one of the big things also was learning the analytics side of it, and I guess marketing and stuff with this sort of thing.
I'll let you have this one.
It was learning the analytics, learning to be able to read the things of where are people clicking off.
Look at this
Where-
graph.
Oh gosh, not that meme.
That is entirely YouTube analytics, though, is just figuring out how to read
Yeah.
all the graphs.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's reading the graphs and understanding the numbers. And even though a lot of these numbers might seem insignificant, they do represent something.
Like the click-through rate.
And-
Is that what we're thinking of?
Yeah, click through rates, average retention time, seeing where people are clicking off, seeing what other videos are promoting your video and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
my pilot episode for Craftworks season 1, it actually did really well
Ooh.
for that time frame. And I mean, I think it just recently broke 1,000 views, so like that's not that great. But
I think it's
for
great.
that, well, for that time, me being at like 400 subscribers and having a video that did that well, that was big for me. And then I looked at the analytics and I was like, okay, well, I wonder where all this traffic's coming from. And at that time, I didn't know that you could find even that information.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found that there was a Smallish Beans episode that, like, at the very end, they do the end cards, and it's
Oh,
sometimes just
yeah.
like the up next thing where it
Yep.
recommends another video.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a small percentage of people were actually clicking on my video after one of his videos.
That's so cool.
And that's what helped my video pick up steam at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it was seeing the little things like that. Those analytics, a lot of the times you're not going to look at them. And a lot of times you're not really going to look at the nitty gritty ones, like the super niche ones. But even then, sometimes looking at those, you can really learn a lot about what is affecting a video's performance.
My
But
favorite
I
one is
want to preface this.
Yep.
I want to preface this. Do not, if you are thinking of starting a YouTube channel, do not, for the love of everything, stare at your analytics after every video,
yeah.
because you will put yourself in a depression afterwards.
You will get discouraged very
You
much.
will get
and
discouraged.
very quickly.
Yes.
Like as soon as you see like the little gray arrow that's pointing down.
As soon as you see 9 out of 10,
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, even then, like my latest video, if I pull up YouTube Studio right now, I think it says mine is like a 5 or 6 out of 10
No, that's
or
not
something
bad.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not, but as of right now, I've also not recorded much recently. So
Yeah, same.
I'm looking at it. Oh, yeah, it's a 6 out of 10 right now. But yeah, so it's very important. If you're considering it, don't get bogged down in the analytics. Remember, the point in doing it is to enjoy it.
Exactly. Hit 1,000
Which is another
subscribers
thing.
first and then worry about that.
Yeah. It's another thing that I think you and I both have learned
Uh-huh.
is to just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we do it for our fans, our friends, and the other creators that we work with, because we all enjoy what we're doing. I mean, every time I see Izzybox has uploaded a new video, I get excited. Even if I don't get time to go and watch that episode or even watch it like in full,
Yeah.
I still get excited because I know I've got a friend that's uploading and enjoying what they're doing.
Same here.
And the
Sorry.
viewers, no, you're good. And the viewers also pick up on that. So
It's funny. I do get quite a few comments, and it's really cool to see the people who like return to my videos, but there's nothing like seeing one of my content creator friends comment on one of my videos and be like, oh, they're supporting me.
yeah, and even then, like, you're gonna have those videos that just don't perform well.
Yeah.
Everybody has got those. Every creator is gonna have those. You're gonna have yours that's gonna be labeled 10 out of 10. Your views are gonna be tanked. Your duration's gonna be tanked. But that's okay as long as you enjoyed making it.
I'm going to speak to that, and I'm going to be brutally honest here. Castworks only. All of you get to hear the tea. Speaking of tea, Cup of Tea is not my favorite series I've ever made. And I don't think it ever will be, to be honest. Because my favorite series are the Rhyme series and the Junk Drawer series. And guess what? Neither of those took off. But I feel like
Both of those were great series, though.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But both of those kind of captured what I really love doing with Minecraft, is building random stuff without giving myself limits and telling stories. So, again, doing what you love is what's important. Even though doing what other people love might get you noticed, it's not very sustainable, emotionally speaking.
Well, that also begs the question. And you and I haven't really talked about this, but I suspect that you've got feelings on this as well.
Probably.
So your channel like really popped off with the modded series, and I mean, like, I've known this whole time. Like, sure, you might have enjoyed playing it and stuff, but even though it's not your favorite thing and like it's not the thing that you want to be known for, how does that make you feel as a creator, seeing that that's where a lot of this has come from?
Oh, it's good to know it can happen. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to know. It's like my channel isn't the problem necessarily. It is the algorithm is working. It does cater to a very specific audience, depending on what niche you've chosen. And I happen to choose peaceful modded stuff, which was a lot of fun at the time, but I never really intended for Cup of Tea to be my niche. Like, that's not what brings me joy, necessarily. And it was a really hard decision to, step away from that. But at the heart of everything, I'm already in school, and that is my practical thing. And if I need something to bring me joy while I'm in school doing stuff that's not quite as creatively fulfilling, I'll say. Very good career option for what I have, so I appreciate it very much. But if I am going to do something for fun, then I want it to be fun for me and not just fun for everyone else. So sad to see all of those fans go who really liked Cup of Tea, but if they really do appreciate my channel, then I know that my real friends will stay with me as I explore the options that make me a little bit more happy as I create content. So I'm not too worried about the numbers dropping at this point.
Yeah. I that's one thing in a small way has kind of scared me from starting a couple of side series. Is like, what if this becomes like accidentally my niche?
Right. That was actually a quote that has kind of stuck with me since writing class and other stuff, is man shouldn't be scared of failing. They should be more scared of succeeding at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And that's really put things into perspective of like, obviously Cup of Tea is not wrong. I did enjoy Cup of Tea, and I really appreciate everybody who has tried it for themselves and really loved doing it. That's great. They can go start their own Cup of Tea series now if they want, because I won't be
a handful of
revisiting.
our friends have done it.
Yeah, it's true. And they really like doing it, and they're doing a great job. So I might revisit it someday. But to all of you listening to the podcast, that's probably not going to be anytime soon. So that I have spilled the cup of tea. There you go.
Yes. Anyway, let's see. What else have we learned?
Technology.
As creators.
You're no longer sitting on your living room floor, right?
Oh yeah. Not doing that anymore. So
Yep.
I don't really remember how much I talked about this in episode 1, It's been a while since
It
then, but I
has.
know I've talked a lot about it in the Craftworks fan Discord. Link in the description, by the way.
Year.
When I first started, I was, as I mentioned earlier, I was recording sitting on my living room floor using my coffee table as my computer desk. And I sat that way for, let's see, I started in May of 2023. I didn't get my desk up until about December. So about 8 months. Well, no, because I was actually recording from March up until May when I did my first upload. So I guess technically about 9 months is what I was looking at from sitting on my living room floor. Let me tell you, it sucked.
Yep.
First of all, it ruined my posture for a while. it hurt because, like, I mean, I'd be sitting here for hours a day doing this.
Yep.
And so, like, that was horrible. And I was using a horrible little, you know what? Let me take that back. It wasn't a horrible computer. It was horrible until I overworked it. It was good up until I overworked it.
Right.
My little HP notebook was not meant for, you know, even opening a
Streamer life.
spreadsheet, let alone streaming
Yep.
and recording and everything. Even to get it to run Minecraft properly while having OBS open, I had to upgrade the RAM in that laptop to make it work.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So once I did that, it became a lot easier. So and then I also learned a little bit extra stuff in the background about computers and whatnot. Because, I mean, I did have to also change other Windows settings and everything else. But I did that, and then I eventually worked my way up into getting a gaming laptop, which I still have. I still love it. It's sitting in
So
my
fancy.
bedroom right now.
It was used, by the way, as a used gaming laptop.
It was used. My roommate's twin brother, of all
Your
people.
roommate's a
So
twin? I didn't know that.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
my
so
roommate
cool.
is a twin. But
Good for her.
but yeah, so I did do that, and I still sat on my living room floor for a while. I finally upgraded from that. Now I've got a gaming PC that I built, and I learned a lot about it in
He's
doing
smart
that.
now.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Still not confident, but the computer works, so we did good. Yeah, so technologically, I had to learn a lot about that. And then not even just like the actual hardware, but the software. So as we were mentioning about OBS earlier, there's software encoders and hardware encoders and ones that are going to use your CPU or your GPU, and then you have to understand bit rate and things like that. And I record on OBS using advanced settings because I split my audio into multiple tracks, which is another thing that I had to also learn. And
Oh, I should learn how to
Yeah.
do that.
I've been telling you this for like a year now.
Maybe when I get a second monitor.
As a matter of fact, I started telling you about that the very episode that I accidentally ruined my chunk lock episode because
Right?
Because
I've
it
heard
didn't
too
pick
many
up any
horror
audio.
stories now.
well, it's okay because now I know how to diagnose those and fix them before they become a problem, which is another thing I've learned.
I feel like I would just find more problems if I did that.
I've diagnosed tech issues with you before. I'm
That's
sure.
true.
I'm
He's
sure
very
you
patient
would.
with me. He shouldn't be. I mean, you were the one who I went to when I was trying to figure out how to get replay mod to work, and then found out I was using like a dead Minecraft launcher that nobody ever used anymore because I was following an 8-year-old Pixelrist tutorial.
Yeah, like do you remember what launcher you were using?
I don't even remember the name. No, it wasn't the vanilla launcher, I can tell you that.
I'm gonna see if I can find it in our messages now.
Oh yeah, it was ancient. I just remember that took us like 2 hours for me to finally be like, oh, maybe the launcher is the problem.
Let's see. Can I filter this to old? Well, yep. Yeah. Okay. I found.
Uh-oh.
No, never mind. That's
Me
not
freaking out.
multi-MC launcher.
Oh my gosh, yep, that's it.
That's it.
Go Google it, guys. Don't download it, but look it up just to see how baby Izzy was doing in her gamer life back then.
But for whatever reason, her instance with that launcher just was not working. We swapped to just the vanilla Minecraft launcher and
Like
set
a
up
charm.
the instance in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right away.
Now I know that all the versions of Minecraft have to be the same. All the mods have to be the same version. I know how to download mods. I didn't know how to do that before. I just downloaded my first game off of Steam the other day.
Are you serious?
And it was Among Us.
It was, of course it was. Yeah. Oh yeah, because of the Among Us stream y'all did. Yeah.
I had to make a stream account. I had to go figure out how to install it. I felt so smart. I was able to. I did have to. I didn't figure out that I had to switch my what was it? My server to North America until people yelled at me in chat. So
Yeah.
that took me a minute. But yeah, I'm a gamer now. I have a Steam account.
Yes. Look, my only Steam friends at the moment are Norm, Win, and Melissa. So,
Yep.
and that's because we've been playing Phas and Repo.
Didn't Cat play with you guys too at one point?
Yeah, Cap did play, but Phasmophobia, we don't actually have to have our Steam accounts friended or anything.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, that's off topic.
I think that's on topic. I'm learning how to be a gamer.
Well, okay, yeah, there we go. But yeah, software-wise, like OBS, the one that really tripped me up was learning bit rates and the encoders. And figuring all of that out. I'm going to tell you now, if viewers, 9 times out of 10, if you have OBS and you're planning on recording, NVIDIA NVENC is probably the better one to use if you have it. Just going to throw that out there now. I don't have that because I have an Intel GPU now, but this all is probably going all over Izzy's head right now.
It absolutely is. I was going to talk to the viewers and be like, I don't think any of this is important anyway, so it's fine. You don't have to listen.
It's not, but just throwing that out there in case somebody does.
Yeah, that's okay. We're not talking about how we got started anyway, or how other people are gonna get started. So
yeah,
not big.
But yeah. So I like choosing the correct encoder, choosing the correct resolutions, choosing the correct bit rates, and the profile settings, and then the filters. And the filters came quite naturally, honestly, with me being a musician. So me having the audio background really helped and understanding how compressors and limiters and everything worked.
Yeah. You want to know how it came naturally to me?
And how's that?
I looked up a YouTube tutorial and did exactly what they told me to.
I'm about to log out of this server. Anyway.
What do you mean? That wasn't about you.
I still feel targeted. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. What are some other things you've learned, Izzy?
Better villager noises.
Better villager noises.
Yeah,
We've been doing that since like our first collab.
Yeah, do you want to talk about making friends online? That was kind of new for both of us.
Oh, that was an interesting thing to learn about. I feel like you're just trying to make me talk so you don't have to talk.
I don't want to talk. I'm tired.
It's okay, because I like to ramble. I like to hear myself talk.
Also, learning how to reach out to people online, too. That was something we had to get good at kind of quick.
Yeah, so, again, as we mentioned before, do not do it through Instagram DMs if you can help it.
If you can help it, don't do it through YouTube comments either. Put your business email in your bio, please.
If you are a content creator, you need to have in your bio some shape, form, or fashion for us to contact you, whether it's your Discord server so we can somehow contact you through Discord, whether it's an email address or anything of the like. For me, it's now my Discord. I took my email off of there because my email is also linked to many other things now. So
I have a separate Gmail account for mine.
I can't have 2 different business emails. I can't. I just cannot.
I can't have a Discord server. I just can't.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Because you have Craftworks that people can just join that, and if they want to talk to you, they can talk to you there.
There's a bunch
they can do it now through Discord, through the Craftworks fan Discord, or through the Lucky Lane Zero Discord that just recently launched.
Yeah, all of my fans who want me to make a Discord server, go do Lanes instead.
Yes.
Lots
Are
of
you
cool
even in that?
I don't think I am, actually. I should go join that.
It's okay.
Okay.
But yeah, have some form of content.
Please.
What content? Some form of
content too, but
some form of contact.
Please.
Like I'm not going to tell you to put your phone number or something out there, right?
That'd be brave.
That'd be very brave.
Borderline stupid. Don't do that.
Yeah, put something there. And my own personal advice here, probably if you're going to do like an email address, make it business related,
Yeah.
and make it separate from everything else you've got going on.
Because that's
And
how
that's
you get
that's not even
viruses.
well, not just that, but it's also, I think, professionalism to a degree.
Yeah.
It's the same way with work, having a separate email address that's not, using random things. Like my work email address isn't minecraft123@gmail.com, It's just something that would make sense in a business setting.
I will say
Um,
my personal email profile picture is actually one of my old YouTube profile pictures, so I should probably go switch that because it's
No,
still my little box
mine's
character.
been updated.
Okay.
Mine's been updated with the times, and I even have the custom signature at the bottom. So if I send an email, it's me because it has all of my contact information there,
So fancy.
and it's got my logo and everything. So the only person that's yet to see that is my music guy that has helped me make custom music for Craftwork Season 3.
Ooh. Get excited,
But-
people.
Yes, get excited. Very excited. Big plans.
Big plans, much yes.
But yes, exactly. But yeah, so Izzy and I, the way we got in touch was through the YouTube comment section.
But granted,
And-
we were both under 200 subscribers, so the chances of us getting weirdo comments was still pretty
Well,
high,
yeah.
but neither of us knew to care about that yet, so it's fine.
we just knew to delete those if we see them.
Yeah. Nobody was cussing me out in my comments yet, so it was fine.
Yeah, exactly. And so we did that, and then ended up through Instagram, and then ended up through Discord.
Because I didn't have a Discord yet. That's another thing I
Yeah.
learned from starting this was figuring out how Discord worked.
Yeah, and then now, funny enough, our Instagram is just us sending memes back and forth to
Yeah,
each other.
our main source of communication nowadays is sending each other reels.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
It do be like that. At least we're not Facebook friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like some people.
Well,
No, I'm joking.
Well, I was about to say I kind of am with a couple of
Yes,
other
I know.
people that I
I
work
know.
with, but that's a big thing. Is just learn how to communicate effectively
Mm-hmm.
and efficiently through this,
Yeah.
because that helped tremendously.
You're going to learn how to compose business emails and invites and stuff too. That was, weirdly enough, I was already pretty okay at composing business oriented emails for like job interviews and such, and that was a big part of my schooling was learning how to write business letters. I got a lot better at it after figuring out how YouTube worked and figuring out how
Yeah.
to pitch ideas to people.
Yeah. Well, I'm in a managerial role, and I mean, out of the 9 years of work experience that I've got, 2/3 of that is managerial experience. So I've gotten very good at that over time.
I was going to say something else. What was the other thing? Oh, this is kind of a weird one. Oddly niche. My personality, like on stage, has gotten a little bit better since starting YouTube. Like I had to, or got to, I'll say got to,
Yeah.
pretty much host my future sister-in-law's bridal shower. And I got to be the one that's like, hey guys, we're going to play games and we're going to do this, and go eat food and stuff like that in front of everyone. And
Knowing you, it was still pretty awkward.
yeah, it definitely was. I very much was quite awkward. But my family members afterwards were like, you did so good and you're really good at emceeing these kinds of things. I was like, thanks. I went full content creator mode in that area
Yeah.
of my life. So my stage mode has only gotten stronger since I started on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because for me, it's like a switch. I can just turn content
yeah.
creator mode on and off.
Yep.
It's like just recently at work, like all of my coworkers know that I do YouTube. My coworkers and the crafters are the only people that know my face, right?
Yeah.
So at work, we were talking about doing the YouTube thing because there was another guy that I work with that had talked about wanting to do streams and stuff
fun.
like that, and somehow the topic got around to like doing intros and things like that, and
Oh,
just
no.
trying to grab people, and
Hey, yo, what's
like.
my name?
Yeah, and they were like, "Well, Lane, how do you do your intros?" Because none of them watch my content,
Right.
so
Naturally.
like just it was like a switch. I just went from talking normally like this to "Hey, yo, it's Lano, and welcome back," and they were like, "Whoa."
I do that too. I have 3 modes. I have content creator mode, which I call stage mode. So, because I used to be in theater as well, and it's the same, pretty much the same thing, just a little
Yeah.
bit more me. There's customer service mode, which is very much not me.
Oh yeah, I've got
But-
customer service mode too.
Oh yeah, I got that one's kind of aggressive, but like
Mine too.
aggressively friendly, I'll say, because I get like weirdly like sugar coated at that point. And then third mode is just normal, and very few people actually get to see that. So I think E knows it pretty well. There are a couple crafters who've probably seen it, but yeah, it's weird, and it
Yeah,
only gets
yeah.
weirder as you do it more.
Yeah. And then, just the way you have to present yourself. Because it's also like, even if we're participating in other events that aren't Craftwork specific events, and like, even if we're not streaming or creating content, somebody else there is. So we still have to be in that frame of mind. And it took
Oh,
a minute
yeah.
to learn that too. Because,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
jumped
it
into
just-
SMP content pretty quickly after just starting too.
Yeah, I really did. And that was a bit of a learning curve. And even then, like, as of right now, I'm planning on going to TwitchCon this year.
Oh, I didn't know you were sure about it yet. That's so cool.
I've decided on it. I have yet to buy the tickets or make reservations, but I have decided that I'm going to try to go as long as the money lines up.
Dude, that's so cool. I'm jealous.
The plan is to buy the ticket soon and then start making reservations, and then pretty much my work bonuses and stuff, those are just going to go put right to the side. That'll be more than enough for me to get there and hang out on for a week.
That's awesome.
And take a paid week off, by the way. So the plan is to do that. And being there, I'm also going to have to remember I am myself in person, but I have to be Lucky Lane 0 in person. I can't just be Lane in person.
That's right. You don't even have
So,
like the face
yeah.
cam knowledge for that kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, my viewers don't know what I look like. Not unless they go and see me at TwitchCon. That's gonna be where
Guys,
you get a face reveal.
Go
okay?
look at him at TwitchCon. Don't even say hi. Just go over and look.
Just go look.
Just go and look.
Yes.
Because I can't. I'm so sad. You're all gonna get to
Yeah.
meet him before I do.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna get to meet some of the hitchhikers and like
know, you get to
Ignord or
meet Curtis.
anybody like It'll be fun. Like, some of our Suffer Together friends will be there.
Ah, that's so cool though. I can't wait to see.
I'll get a picture for you.
Please do. That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle the
And
crowds,
when,
but that'd be so cool.
and when that happens, there might be like a future podcast episode at that time on it, and then there might be the face reveal. Like, I just shared my
On
photo
the
with that or something. I
podcast?
don't
Oh
know.
my gosh.
Maybe that's not official. So chat, don't immediately.
Chat, let's
assume
make it a
that's gonna be
thing.
that.
Chat, let's do it. Gang up on him in the
Um,
comments. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that.
But yeah, so like, even then, I'm gonna be out in public, surrounded by people that have never seen my face before, but I'm still having to be there to represent my brand.
That's so cool. How old is your channel? You're already going to TwitchCon as a creator. That's so cool.
My channel, as of
May?
about a month and 8 days from now, will make a full 2 years.
I'm
a month
trying-
and 8 days as of the recording of this podcast. So May 8th.
I'm trying to think of
If you look-
something else to say
if you-
other than that's so cool. I've run out.
Yeah, no, you're good. It'd be like Mumbo and just use chuff to bits after everything.
Chuffed to bits. I'm just
but-
absolutely chuffed with that.
But like, if you look at my channel, it'll say that I started sooner. No, I did not start sooner. I just
No,
created the
Just
account
created the
sooner.
channel. Yep. Same here.
That's also going to be a learning curve, is learning to represent myself in public,
Hmm.
even without people knowing who I am, like,
Yeah.
based off of my facial features and everything. So that's going to be odd, but it'll be fun. I would like to add one other thing for those of you at home that are watching right now, or wherever you're watching from.
Hi, viewers.
Um,
We're waving to you.
Hi, viewers. I'm gonna say this because this might also tie in a little bit to our next topic, but you guys have to wait till next week to see that.
Look, gasp. The nerve.
The nerve. But if you're gonna start doing content creation, whether it's even just streaming or just videos, or if you're just doing TikTok or Reels or whatever, understand that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in making this. And I know you guys know this already, but understand just how busy it can actually get. Right? So for what
Yep.
we do, for what we do with being streamers and content creators, and then like even me doing the music on the side that I want to tie into doing this, I've had to learn like 12 other occupations in order to do this one thing that's barely paying, you know?
Right. Yep.
So like you are actively learning new skills in doing thumbnails, in video editing, in marketing, in advertisement, in understanding audio, anything visual, technological. You're learning all these other skills, and these skills, by the way, you can take them and use them somewhere else. I'm saying this now. Because we technically have video proof of us doing this stuff, I guess. I'm using this as, experience later on down the line if I decide to be somebody else's video editor or thumbnail editor or whatever else,
Yeah.
So you're learning a bunch of other jobs to do just this one, really, is what's happening.
I would love to.
So
edit
understand,
someone else's
you're
videos.
always going to be learning. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So glad we made a whole podcast just to tell people that we're not done learning yet.
Pretty much.
Which kind of
But
makes
that's okay, because maybe we can make a part 2 later on.
What else have we learned?
Yeah, well, exactly.
It never
Okay,
ends.
well,
Except for this episode, which is ending right now. Thank you all for watching.
bye.
Goodbye.